Hi, this is Gisou Ravanbaksh joining you from San Diego County, California. My husband and I have been living in China for the past 12 years with our 4 daughters. I'm a high school history and psychology teacher who's been teaching in international schools.
Ravanbaksh left China in the middle of the outbreak and moved to California. This is what she has to say about what she's witnessed in both countries.
We witnessed the onset of the epidemic in China. We were there in the southern city of Zhuhai, which is very far from Wuhan, and it came on with a sense of calm because the entire country was already shut down for Chinese New Year. When the news came on about the epidemic, people were already at home with their families, not going to work, and so the government announcing that this period of holiday would actually be prolonged, and they put in very strict measures about wearing masks, getting temperature checked. If you walked in and out of your neighborhood, there'd be a guard at the gate of the neighborhood, and they'd do a temperature check. Restaurants were closed down, delivery service only. So there were very strict measures put into place in order to control the outbreak, and they did a phenomenal job. When you look at the fact that it ultimately affected less than 1% of their population in terms of the confirmed cases that required some medical assistance from the hospital, it's really phenomenal. We left China 1 week into that quarantine period, and we flew into LAX. We were expecting a health check in LAX, maybe some questioning. We were expecting to be put into quarantine for 2 weeks, or at least advised to go into quarantine for 2 weeks. None of those things happened. We self-quarantined for 2 weeks in an Airbnb, did not come into contact with even my mother and father-in-law, really, in order to prevent them from possibly getting something that we could be carrying that we don't know. And that's the phenomenal thing about the virus. It's very different than all the other viruses. We came to California and it seemed like things were just normal here, and took the kids to Legoland, but we were still very cautious. We were hand sanitizing constantly and, just keeping a little bit of social distance, not too much, but it was really a shock to see the numbers in the US go up. So there is in the US a sense of shock right now, and it's very normal for people to be initially in denial when news is that shocking. Time to really accept that this is our reality. I think what the virus is teaching us is that we have to work through that denial and the shock and move forward to a place of acceptance and ultimately gratitude. If you have a home to be quarantined in, then you're better off than many, many millions of people in the world. If you have clean water for washing your hands with, then be grateful. If you have food in your refrigerator, then be grateful. It's teaching us about what really matters. It's teaching us that we are one human family, that there is no otherness, and that what impacts one side of the world impacts the other side of the world. So I think there's so mmany lessons that we can learn during this period. This is not going to be forever. We also need to look out for each other, give toilet paper to your neighbor if they need it. This is a time to create a sense of community. I think we'll all come out of this much stronger and really transformed on the inside with a different perspective of the world and with a different perspective of what we value most.